is time now for everyone's favorite Michael Lombardi segment of the week, NFL Overreaction. We appreciate you being here today, Michael. We're going to start with the Patriots, okay? Mac Jones should be the Patriots' Week 1 starter over Cam Newton. Overreaction or no?
I do think that's an overreaction, and here's why. What we miss a little bit about the understanding of the college to the pro game is the college game doesn't use language. They look at cards, and they see the cards, and everybody kind of reacts to the card. The quarterback doesn't have to have command of the huddle. He doesn't have to remind the the back to make sure he checks the will linebacker going out, or tells the receiver to cut his split down a little bit. He only has to worry about what he does. When you get to pro football, you become the communicator. You become the language orator, and you must be able to explain it to everyone, and that takes time. That's not going to get done in 3 preseason games and a little bit of practice. So it's an evolution of development that's going to require for Mac Jones. He'll get it, but time is his enemy right now to be the starter day 1.
Okay, very quickly, over under Week 8, he makes his first start.
Oh, I would go over. I think the Patriots are not going to give him the job until he earns it.
All right, Mac Jones stealing Tom Brady's dad bod means he's next in line to be the greatest of all time. Is that an overreaction?
Of course it's an overreaction. He hasn't taken a snap in the National Football League, and you're comparing him to a Hall of Famer, as only you could overreact.
Here's the thing. He's actually embracing all of those Tom Brady comparisons on and off the field rather than trying to calm them. Do you like this kid doing that?
Well, I think he's probably using Brady as a mentor, that he knows he's got a long way to go, that even though he wasn't the 199th pick in the draft, that he was the 15th pick, that the difference between him and Brady may actually be 186 picks or 184 picks, but the reality of it is he's got to prove something to everyone, including himself.
Is it an overreaction to say that if it was not for Belichick's dog, Nike, bursting onto the draft day scene last year, Ernie Adams would still be with the Patriots?
I think that's an overreaction as only you could do. I don't think Nike was going to take Ernie's job whatsoever. I don't think Nike knows the rules or understands the game as Ernie Adams did.
Wow. Do you know Nike that well where you feel confident saying that?
I do. I really do. I think Nike's a little young. I don't think he or she's had enough time to really develop the knowledge base that Ernie Adams has.
Michael, what is your best Ernie Adams story that you can share with us? Because I think most people watching, it's still that mega mystery. What did this guy really do?
Well, he did a lot. My favorite Ernie Adams story is we were all together in Cleveland, and we left Cleveland on a nice, sunny April day, about 65 degrees in Cleveland. It was me, Ernie Adams, Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, and I believe Don Manili, the scouting director. We flew to North Dakota to work out a prospect at the offensive line, but we were going to go from North Dakota State to Nebraska to Kansas State to the University of Houston to work out Andre Ware, and then end up at Jackson State to work out Jimmy Smith, all within a day. And when we landed in North Dakota, it was a blizzard. And only as Ernie Adams could do, he had prepared for the weather. And he whipped out a Gore-Tex suit that he was the only one. Everyone else was in short sleeves and sweatshirts. We were freezing, and Ernie was fully prepared. But that was Ernie. And Ernie had the great ability to be able to understand the environment, prepare for it, all while reading the largest book I've ever seen on the Civil War, written by Shelby Foote during the entire plane ride.
Well, I heard he was one of the smartest guys in the room for sure. Before you get out of here, biggest NFL story outside of Foxborough is a disgruntled Aaron Rodgers. So if Michael Lombardi was the GM of Green Bay, he'd rip off the Band-Aid and trade the man immediately, right now. Is that an overreaction?
No, I think with my last name Lombardi, I don't want to poison the great Vince Lombardi and trade a legendary player away. I would go and fly to California and knock on his door and try to make up and be nice and kiss. I would even bring Emerson along with me, maybe Emerson, because I need to make up with Aaron Rodgers. I don't need to trade him.
All right, if he does end up being traded, where do you think he ends up?
I think the Raiders have the potential to make a really good trade because they have Derek Carr under contract for 2 years. He wants to go to the West Coast. I think they could give the Packers back a quarterback.
All right, you're a good man, Michael Lombardi. Good overreacting with you.
Thank you.